last but not least, my fellow graduates. It is both a great honor and joy to stand before you all today to represent the graduating BSN class of 2011. First, on behalf of my graduating class, I want to take this moment to thank our professors and instructors who have paved the way for us and really cultivated our growth. My sincere thanks also goes out to Shelley and Teresa and the rest of the staff who have definitely made this road through nursing school much easier to navigate. And of course, to our friends and family, thank you for your patience, your support, and your love. Our success is because of all of that, all that you have given us throughout these years, including your money. And now to my fellow undergrads, congratulations. Here we finally are, June 11, 2011, the day we have long waited for. It goes without saying that this is the most significant day of our lives. I wish we could forever have this moment in all its happiness and perfection. I know we'll always have the amazing memories from today to look back on, but it isn't going to be about what you remembered from commencement, what you took away from today, but rather today is a celebration of what it took to get you here, the most important day of your life. For most of us, it has taken 4 long years to get to this moment, for others perhaps 5, and for a few others still, including myself, perhaps even longer. And in this sea of graduates in identical caps and gowns, we cannot forget the unique individual stories that got us each started down and through the path of nursing school. Look back to the start, and likely even further than that, and we discover our many diverse answers to why nursing. Whether this is for your mom, your dad, a brother, a sister, or a friend. Whether it is because you once understood what it felt like to be a patient being cared for by a nurse. Or whether it was simply a feeling that this was right, you answered a calling. I've had the privilege of listening to many of your stories, and I've always found great inspiration in each. We each have our reasons for what brought us there at the start years ago, at the start where all we each knew was someday I am going to be a nurse. I don't think any of us quite knew what to expect when we first started down this path. I swear admission into nursing school should come with a black box warning with giant letters reading, nursing school can cause serious adverse effects, including but not limited to insomnia, uncontrollable mood swings, anxiety, and death. And by death, I mean that of your social life. There is perhaps no other major on this campus that demands as much of its students quite like the nursing major. What other major has 4-unit classes that feel more like 24 units? What other major makes you take a course in which the syllabus and textbook are the same length and both are obnoxiously heavy? What other major makes you sit for 8 hours in a classroom with no phone service? What other major tells you at the end of all this, lives are going to depend on you? With resilience and determination, we face the challenges presented before us. The workload and difficulty intensified with each passing year. 2-hour lectures became 3-hour ones, then 3-hour lectures turned into 4. And then, of course, there was research. And for fear of messing up my chances of getting into the PhD program here, that is all I will say about that class. Weekly quizzes, assignments, projects, it seemed never ending. On top of all this, we shared the struggles of the regular student. Many of us holding jobs, maintaining friendships and relationships, participating in extracurriculars, being there for our families. And through it all, we had to remind ourselves that as long as we got through this, I am going to be a nurse. Pretty soon, we found ourselves off to clinicals. It was an exciting time because things became real. We became closer as a cohort. After our physical assessment class, how could we not be close? I remember during the first few weeks of clinicals, I got excited over things like putting on a blood pressure cuff correctly, changing a patient's linens in under an hour and a half, figuring out which side of the diaper goes in front. In retrospect, yes, not really exciting stuff, but I couldn't get good at the big things without first learning the little ones. And as we dared ourselves to take on something bigger, we sometimes faltered and made mistakes. I know I'm not alone when I came home from clinicals one day in tears. Because I messed up, because I felt stupid, because I felt like I would never be good enough. But we all got up and dusted ourselves off. Sometimes the voice of determination isn't loud and booming, but is a quiet whisper within that says, I will try again tomorrow. And there we were, back at it the next day, unfazed ready to take on a new day. It was in these moments that we knew that soon, so soon, I am going to be a nurse. Soon it seemed like there was nothing we couldn't do. If ever scared or unsure, all we had to ask ourselves was WWBDD. It means, what would Barbara Deming do? Towards the end of our immersion experiences, I heard of stories of a classmate helping deliver a baby, a classmate consoling a grieving family, a classmate starting chest compressions on a patient and saving her life. We celebrated not only our own accomplishments, but also others. One success was congratulated and celebrated by all, and that is something I will forever consider so special about being part of this class. I look back on those stories, and I look back at the beginning, and I can't help but smile to know how much we've all grown. And so here we are at the end. We've emerged from the dungeons of Factor, and soon we will join the ranks of this honored profession. As nurses, we will see patients at the beginning of life, those at the end of theirs, and we'll be there for them for everything in between. Always treasure that, and remember that you have the ability to make the biggest impact on your patients' lives. And then remind yourself that at one point in time, you learned that it was the little things that made the big things happen. We've climbed a huge mountain and are standing proud on top of its peak. Yet we're probably now realizing that this pinnacle is no pinnacle at all. That perhaps we've reached the top only to find out that what lay ahead were even bigger mountains to conquer. And as we continue to climb, I hope you still look back to the start years ago and never forget the reason that brought you there. I hope that as you climb, you find more reasons to keep you going. I'm sure you are sitting there realizing that in a few short moments you will be graduating, and you can tell yourself one last time, I am going to be a nurse. I'm here to tell you that you are not going to be a nurse. You already are. You became one when you answered your calling years ago. We are nurses, and more importantly, we are someone's friend, someone's shoulder to cry on, someone's brightest smile in their darkest hour. Wherever our paths may take us from this point forward, I hope that it leads you to the happiest of places your hearts will never know. I truly wish I could continue along my own path with each of you by my side. I can't think of a more perfect group of people to have gone through this experience with. Promise me that in whatever you choose to do, you will always listen to that whisper within that says never give up. Always push through and keep climbing. Class of 2011, your Everest awaits. Congratulations again, you did it.